I gotta do this like what the heck was the show? CSI Miami. All right, boys and girls, it's time for my final story time. There, how's that? All right, so what we're going to read first is a brand new book. I just got this in the mail. I think it was yesterday. It was just released this week. And those of you who are on TikTok, you probably know about Noodle. And you probably know about what a Bones Day is and a No Bones Day is. So Noodle is a 13-year-old pug. And he's probably the best part of TikTok. You know, because I find that TikTok can be kind of really negative. Hello, Jesse. You know, but you really got to find the nuggets out there. Friends of Feline is out there on TikTok now. It's really nice. So, all right, we are going to read Noodle and the No Bones Day. Noodle is a pug. A silly, stubborn, sweet old pug that lives a very busy life. Some days, Noodle likes to go on walks and see the sights. Some days he likes to sit outside and bark at passers-by. And every day he likes to eat snacks. More chicken, please. He's a pug who knows what he wants. So if you're on TikTok, look for Noodle. Or just do a no bones. Jonathan is Noodle's human. He loves taking care of Noodle and joining him in his favorite activities. Do I have a favorite resident cat?
No.
You know, that always changes, Stacy. You know, sometimes it's derecho. Sometimes it's, derecho. I'll go with derecho right now. But I mean, sometimes it's Alma. Sometimes it's Magic. So Jonathan is Noodle's human. He loves taking care of Noodle and joining him in his favorite activities. He loves to take Noodle on walks where they can see the sights together. He loves to sit outside where they can say hello to their neighbors. And he loves to share snacks. Noodle prefers chicken, but will settle for broccoli. Jonathan and Noodle do everything together. One day, Jonathan went to take Noodle on his walk. Noodle lay in his bed with one eye open. He very clearly did not want to go for a walk. Do you want to see the sights? Or sit outside? Or have some snacks? Jonathan asked. Noodle did not want to see the sights or sit outside. What he did want was snacks. But still, he stayed in his bed. Concerned, Jonathan tried to sit him up. And Noodle, in his silly, stubborn, sweet way, plopped back down into his bed and went to sleep. Wow, Jonathan said, it's like he doesn't have bones. At that moment, Noodle let out a big sneeze. For those of you who don't speak pug, a sneeze means yes. Huh, thought Noodle. Noodle's bones had never disappeared before. Was he sick? Jonathan checked his nose, but it was soft and perfect, as usual. Maybe Noodle was just sad. Jonathan gave Noodle a bunch of belly rubs to get him revved up. Noodle lapped up the attention, but he burrowed in deeper. Perhaps Noodle was hungry. He was, as always, but still, he stayed in bed. You know, I don't know if you guys remember Trucker, who just like Magic only had 2 legs. But I really, really liked Trucker, and I was very, very sad when he got cancer and passed. He was the coolest cat you will ever meet. He was another one who I really, really liked. He was, you know, he was great. But what about all of your favorite activities, Jonathan asked. Noodle just stared at him. Would you rather snuggle instead? This time, Noodle sneezed. Yeah, I miss Trucker too. It was fun. The Trucker fried chicken, the Trucker trails. Um, you know, he'd have a little bit of accidents, and we'd all kind of celebrate because he was a special boy. I loved the little Trucker truck that he had, where we'd wheel him around in his special truck with his license plate on the back that said Trucker. Oh, that was best. That was just great stuff. Anna, there should be a lot of pictures of Trucker on Chatters. I mean, there should be a lot of them. He was, a matter of fact, Trucker even had his own banner in Chatters at one point. The singing for Mama Jackie. Oh, God. The Mama Jackie blues. Trucker loved Jackie. And when Jackie would go in for the night, Trucker would start singing the song of his people because he didn't want her to go in. He was a special boy. And if you ever come to FFRC and you visit Albert's Garden, you'll see Trucker's memorial stone and his truck out there, right there with his memorial stone. So, oh, God. So that's what Noodle did. He didn't go for a walk. He didn't see the sights. He didn't sit outside. Instead, he snuggled in his bed. He enjoyed lots of belly rubs, and he ate many snacks. Oh, I didn't mean to make it sad, Anna, because Trucker enriched our lives. He really did. Though he left us too soon, I appreciate, because if he didn't find FFRC, his life would have been significantly shorter. So, I didn't mean to make it sad, but he was a wonderful cat, and him and Magic were the best of friends. So, maybe I'll post something and put a couple links about Trucker, because he was. I had some pictures of Trucker that I took. He was great. He really was. And he was happy, a happy, silly, stubborn, sweet pug, enjoying a relaxing day, a no bones day. Jonathan looked at Noodle, enjoying his no bones day. And decided he would have a no-bones day as well. This is actually me and Gallant on the love seat. We do this a lot. Except he either is on my lap or he's on the arm. From then on in, some days were Bones days. Great days for walks, seeing the sights, and sitting outside. Other days were no Bones days. Great days for staying in bed, snuggling with a blanket, and getting lots of belly rubs. But no matter what kind of day it was, every day was a great day for snacks. I'm sorry to hear that, Micah. My one kitty just turned 16. Bones or no bones, they are all good days. Author's note. This book wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Noodle, obviously, and the millions of people who have found joy in his sweet personality, glorious flaps, and occasional lack of bones. Want to thank each and every one of you for your kind words, support, and genuine love for this sweet king. I adopted Noodle when he was 7.5 years old, and he's been my best friend for the past 6 years. All dogs deserve homes, but I encourage you to check your local animal shelter / rescue next time you're looking to bring one into your life. Thank you so much. And I wanted to kind of give you a read things here. Noodle is a sweet, silly old pug who enjoys doing all of his favorite activities with his favorite human, Jonathan. But one day when Noodle goes to take Noodle on his morning walk, he finds Noodle still comfortable in bed. When Jonathan lifts Noodle up, Noodle just flops over. It's like Noodle woke up without any bones. On this special day when Noodle needs to spend extra time in bed for some self-care, Jonathan learns that sometimes a no-bones day is exactly what you need to get through the week. So that is Noodle, and this is the real picture of Jonathan and Noodle. Noodle is 13 years old. So we are going to, and I don't know if this is TikTok or Instagram or, but Piglet comes home. Let me take the cover off because I'm always. How a deaf-blind pink puppy found his family. Something big was about to happen. Yeah, Aaron, it just came out this week. I actually pre-ordered it a couple months ago. So I'm really, really happy that it came in time for the last story time. Something big was about to happen. Susie and the rest of the dogs could feel it in their fur. That morning, Mom gathered the pups around her before she left for a dog adoption event. As she headed out the door, she told them a new friend would be joining her family. 4, 5, 6. What could it be? As the pups waited for Mom to return, they yipped and yapped about the new dog. I hope it's a small dog like me, or a big dog like me, or a pup who likes to play pounce like me. I always wanted another brother. I'd like to have a brother or another sister. Notice that there's a kitty looking in the window. Susie, who was the oldest and the wisest, barked for order. Whoever Mom brings home, we will welcome them with open paws, she counseled the group, because we are a family, and our family always makes room for one more. And we also watch out for chipmunks. Chipmunks are cute, but they think they're faster than us. That's so rude. Wait, did somebody say food? Suddenly, the pups heard the back door creaking open, and then they heard squee, 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 squee. Who or what was making that frightening sound? Mom strode into the kitchen carrying a teeny tiny crate. And inside that crate was a teeny tiny pink creature. Huh? Is it a mouse? Is it a bunny? Where is his fur? I could swear this is a piglet. The new creature was not a mouse nor a bunny. He was a pink puppy. The pup pack gathered around the newcomer, but his screaming was so loud that it was hard to think. Say hello to Piglet, Mom announced. She told them that the new pup was deaf and blind. He couldn't hear or see anything. Where am I? Piglet wondered. He wasn't used to being part of a family. In the rescue shelter, Piglet had been all on his own, and he felt so lonely and scared. It was hard to shake those feelings. Piglet was so scared he spent the whole day in his crate, curled up like a tiny pink ball. And the doggy says, I'm sorry, I made fun of your fur. All day long, each dog tried to help in their own way, but Piglet just kept on crying. He couldn't see or hear what they were saying, but he could still smell the dogs all around him. Can he trust him? The dog says, pink is my favorite color. That night, Mom placed Piglet in a new doggy bed, just for him. It was soft and warm, but he was still scared. Hearing the tiny pup crying, Susie got up from her own spot by the fireplace and snuggled up next to him. While Piglet couldn't see her, he felt Susie's warm, soft fur, and he felt safe. He wished that this feeling could last forever. Well, that's cute. Then slowly, with each passing day, it started to happen. Whenever Piglet felt lonely, Susie nuzzled up to his side. Whenever he felt frisky, Zoe brought over his favorite tug toy. Thank you, Stacy. I hope so too. I could still feel that little popcorn jumping on my back from like 4 feet away. And whenever he felt hungry, Gina passed him her extra treats. Mom was even teaching him how to walk upstairs. It was hard. But maybe someday Piglet could make it all by himself. As he settled into his new home, Piglet discovered that he could do all kinds of things. He used his nose to find his way to the food ball, and his paws to find a soft place to snooze. Before long, he was joining the group on their daily walks around the block. Sniffing the air, he trotted by the big oak trees, past chattering squirrels, the sandy beach, and all the way back to the house. One day, before they headed outside, Susie told the pack, "Wait for Piglet, everyone!" In the backyard, all 7 dogs played tag, rolled in the grass, and chased your tail. It was so much fun to play together in the fresh air on a beautiful day. I don't think so, Stacy. But no chance that your popcorn is going to jump on my back. But then dark clouds rolled in, taking over the sky. It was a storm. A loud clap of thunder and a streak of lightning filled the air with fear. And then one dog says, gotta hide. Help! Somebody save us! I want to live! Piglet sniffed the air. Though he couldn't hear the thunder or see the lightning, he could smell the storm and feel the wind growing stronger. Zoe huddled next to him, trembling with fear. As the rain poured down, the other dogs grew even more afraid. Piglet knew they were scared. He had to help his new brothers and sisters. Hi! Oh, okay. First, he barked to get everyone's attention. Then he nudged them into a line. And with his nose held high, he led them to the slate at the bottom of the stairs. He tapped the steps with his nose like Mom had taught him. Hi, Holly. Yeah, I'm actually moving, so that's why today's the last day.
It's not. I'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah. Well, the last story time.
Oh,
So, yep.
I'm heading out.
All right.
Good night, Billy.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Until next time we meet.
Yep. And they climbed and they climbed and they climbed until... they reached the top. Piglet was so proud of himself. He did a happy twisty dance and the pup pack gave him grateful nudges. He felt like he was standing on top of the world. One by one, the pups walked into the house to safety. Inside, Piglet smiled as he snuggled up with Susie and the rest of the dogs, their hearts beating together in a steady rhythm. He felt warm and safe and loved. At last, he knew what it felt like to be part of a family. He was home. The story behind the story. We got some real pictures here. Piglet is a deaf-blind dachshund Chihuahua mix who was rescued from a hoarding situation in Georgia. My husband and I agreed to foster him while his rescuers searched for his forever home. So on August 4th, 2017, the tiny pink puppy traveled from Georgia to an adoption event in Milford, Connecticut. He weighed only 1 pound, about the size of a pet rat. And when he was pink, he couldn't see or hear, which probably made him very scared and lonely. When I arrived at the pet store, I walked in feeling a little nervous and very excited. I could hear Piglet immediately. As I turned to my left, I saw him sitting in a crate all by himself. It was raining here, Stacy. I don't know if we got a thunderstorm, um, but it was coming down there for a little bit. Screaming at the top of his lungs. It was a heartbreaking sight. I rushed over, picked him up, expecting him to settle, but the screaming continued as I wrapped him in a blanket and carried him out of the store and into my car. His original name was Bart, but he looked so much like a baby pig that his new dad renamed him Piglet. Piglet knew right away that his foster home was his forever home, and he was there to stay. It just took all of us a little extra time to figure that out. We held him, taught him tap signals, and made sure he knew he could count on us to comfort him whenever he was feeling scared. Piglet gained confidence as he settled into a routine of snuggling in his favorite dad's arms, playing with the other family dogs, taking walks on the beach, traveling to house calls with me, his veterinarian mom, and visiting the animal hospital to get kisses and treats from his BFFs. Piglet used his senses of smell, touch, taste, and love to engage and be part of the family, his environment, and his active life. Piglet lives with 6 other rescued dogs. Susie is a gray terrier who was rescued from a shelter in Tennessee. She is nurturing and gentle with Piglet and the other dogs. Gina is mostly a white border collie Australian shepherd mix, also rescued in Georgia. She is deaf in her left ear. Gina is much bigger than Piglet, but she is careful and considerate when she plays with him. Dean is a black lab mix rescued in Arkansas. Anne and Susie absolutely adore him. He is also very gentle and understanding of Piglet's size and need to be in charge. Annie is a small tan terrier rescued from a shelter in California. She is sweet and shy. She likes to take walks and play with the other dogs. Evie is a little white poodle mix rescued from the same shelter as Annie. She participates in school visits and travels with Zoe and Piglet. Zoe is a brown Chihuahua Yorkie mix rescued in Arkansas. Zoe is Piglet's #1 go-to for rough play. They are the same size and equally matched. Zoe is well aware that Piglet can't see, so she nips and taps at his legs during rough play to get his attention when he can't find the other dogs. So these are some of the pictures, and there's Piglet. And then we got Susie, Dean, there we go. Evie, Gina, Annie, and Zoe. So another internet or social media star. All right, the next book, Meet Maya Cat. This is a story about acceptance. Meet Maya. She's a cat. She may look a little different. She may act a little different. And she doesn't, and she does need a little extra attention sometimes. But she's just like any other cat. Look at the red dot. She likes to run around. She likes to climb on things. She likes to play with toys. She likes to eat yummy treats. Actually, Cat B, trying to think. There's another, is it Molly? I forget. She actually looks like that she's got like almost like Down syndrome. That's what Maya looks like. But you know, Maya is a big internet star, social media star. And she likes to talk a lot. Meow, meow, meow. When she's tired from doing all that, she likes to sleep in fluffy blankets and cuddle with her family. Maya may be different, but you just have to get to know her. Once you do, you'll see. She's not really that different at all. She likes to be treated and loved just like everybody else. And, you know, we're going to have a part 2 about Maya. We're going to read about Maya's brother, who lives with Maya, in a minute. Nice to meet you, Maya. Thanks for taking the time to read Maya's story. We hope it helps you see that everyone deserves love and acceptance. This book is based on the story of a wonderfully real cat, really named Maya. To learn more about Maya, check out her Instagram page at MeetMayaCat, MEetMayaCat. We are truly grateful to the Odd Cat Sanctuary in Salem, Massachusetts. They saved Maya's life, just like they save so many other cats every single day. They deserve all the support they can get. To learn more about the Odd Cat Sanctuary, find them on Facebook. We also offer our full support to Special Olympics, an organization that provides free athletics programs to children and adults with intellectual disabilities in all 50 states and 172 countries globally. Within Massachusetts alone, Special Olympics works with 12,500 children and adults all across the state, holding nearly 300 sporting events every year. These programs not only improve athletic and social skills, but also build confidence and encourage inclusion. Learn more at SpecialOlympicsMA.com. And there's a real picture of Maya. All right. Now we're going to learn about Maya's brother, Dragon, the scaredy cat. And what this says here is she's a cat, her back legs do not work, but that's not what this book is about. It's about how she feels anxious and scared all the time, and how everything ends up okay. Based on the true story of Dragon from Instagram's Meet Maya Cat family, this book helps normalize differences, calms us down, and reminds us how awesome we all are. This book is dedicated to Dragon, who came into our lives by chance and taught us to take more chances, conquer our fears, embrace the unknown, and love unconditionally. Meet Dragon. She's a cat, a scaredy cat. Dragon has a mighty name, but she doesn't feel like a mighty dragon at all. Oh, good, Micah. I'm glad you found it. She wants to be brave. She wants to be calm. Yes, Vanessa, it's my last Wednesday. But she is just too scared. She always wants her mom. She is scared of the dark and loud noises. And new people and new places. I love her. Oh, no, that's not Vern. That's Hensley. And spiders. And for some reason, she's scared of jelly beans. Her paws get shaky and her heart beats fast. It gets hard to breathe and she wants it to pass. And guess what? It's not sad. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. It does. It always gets better. Her family keeps her safe. And look, there's Maya. And her new friends do too. Just take some deep breaths and it will work for you too. One, two, three. Now wiggle it out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle it out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. See your hands still. See your hands get more still. And your heartbeat more slow. It gets easier to breathe, and we're ready to go. Thank you for taking the time to read Dragon's story. So we hope this book helps you feel brave, calm, and worthy. So here's a picture of Dragon. And then the dragon's drawing. This is based on a story of a real cat named Dragon. Dragon is paralyzed in her two back legs. And she's always dragging herself around. Get it? Despite her back legs not working, Dragon can still run, play, climb, and live a happy and fulfilling life. That's why this book is not about her paralysis at all. It's about her anxiety. Dragon struggles with an anxiety disorder like many humans do. But she doesn't let it stop her. She takes medication to help, and her family works every day to make sure she feels safe, confident, and loved. We wrote this book so everyone can know it's okay to feel anxious, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to receive a diagnosis. You are not alone and everything will be okay. You will be okay. After all, our differences make our world stronger. Yes, just like magic. Don't forget to follow the real-life Dragon story and her sister, too, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Meet Maya Cat. Learn all about Allworthy, our disability inclusion nonprofit, by visiting allworthy.org. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wackos. Or find us on Instagram or Facebook. So, So that's Dragon. All right. I think we got 2 more books to go. So I really want to read this because I talked about my Smudge. Just turned 16 this week. And she's a little, what's the good word? She can be grumpy, all right? But this book, this Smudgy, is not grumpy. Here's Smudge. Muff was delighted with her new kittens. She purred and purred. Buster, the big red father cat, was not half so pleased. He had never seen such tiny kittens before. They were not at all what he had expected. In his opinion, they looked rather like mice, though he did not say that out loud. There were 3 of them, 2 boys and a girl. The red one, who took after his father, was called Junior. The black one was called Smudge. And the little black, white, and red kitten was named Betty Jo, after an aunt on her mother's side of the family. At first, the kittens did nothing but eat and sleep. They didn't even open their eyes. But every day, they grew a little fatter and a little fluffier. And every day, they looked more like kittens. When Buster got used to his children, he became quite fond of them. He liked to help them with their bath. He often stayed in the box with them while Muff got out to stretch her legs. When the kittens were 10 days old, their eyes opened. Soon after, they learned to walk, waddling about unsteadily on their short legs, with their tails sticking up like little pine trees. Presently, they began to wander about the world outside their box and had to stand on tiptoe to look over the edge. One day, Muff and Buster decided that the children were old enough to be left alone for a while. And they went out in the garden to chase grasshoppers. No one realized that the kittens had grown large enough to climb out of the box. But they had. Smudge, who was the bravest, was first over the side. Junior quickly followed, and then Betty Jo. There they were in a big room full of ominous-looking furniture. But the kittens wisely took no chances. Look at that Smudge. Oh, no problem. No problem. They crept very quietly all over the place, sniffing everything to see if it was dangerous. However, when nothing growled or barked or pounced at them, they forgot to be afraid. They began to play. Little Betty Jo crawled under a rug and hid. I'm really happy to hear that, Jesse, because I think at that point the books on grief helped out a lot of folks because, I know that one day, when we lost 3 cats here, well, 2 cats and a dog, that was a rough day. There's a couple rough days that we've had here. There was one day where we lost 3 cats in one night. You know, that was when Patty Purr passed away. And there was a couple other that day as well. So, little Betty Jo crawled under a rock and hid. She was pretending to be a wild kitten in the woods, and the rug was her cave. Junior made believe the window curtain was an enemy and attacked it savagely with all of her teeth and claws. It was a fierce battle, but Junior won without a doubt. For when the fight was over, the window curtain was full of holes, and Ginger didn't have a scratch. Junior didn't have a scratch. Ginger. Thinking of Ginger. I had a cat named Ginger. Then Smudge, who was a very brave kitten, climbed up the side of the sofa and jumped onto the table. There he found a marvelous plaything, a lamp with a fine silk shade that you could really get your claws into. And by standing on tiptoe and reaching, he did get his claws into it. He tugged, and he tugged, while the lamp rocked onto its base. He tugged some more, and suddenly the whole thing toppled over. Let me get a drink. So the whole thing toppled over, and with Smudge still clinging to it. For he didn't have time to unhook his claws. They crashed to the floor. Meow! Shrieked Smudge. Tearing loose his claws, he scrambled under the sofa, followed by Junior and Betty Jo, who were almost as frightened as he was. With their eyes round and their fur standing on end, they watched the fallen lamp to see what it would do next. But the lamp did not move. It just lay there on the floor, all broken to pieces. Cried Muff anxiously when she heard Smudge cry, and she rushed back into the house. Buster followed at a more leisurely pace. He was fond of the children, but he did not worry over them as Muff did. Meow! Meow, meow! Cried the kittens, running out from under the sofa to meet their mother. They knew the lamp could not hurt them if she was there. Muff sniffed them all over carefully and was greatly relieved that they still had all of their paws and tails and whiskers. Just at the same time, she did not like to have them running around in the room where anything might happen. And she told them so over and over in cat language. Then she seized Smudge by the scruff of his neck and dragged him back to the box and plopped him in. She returned for Junior and finally for Betty Jo. When they were all three safe in the box again, she leapt in with them and washed them with her rough pink tongue. Yes. That night the kittens were very hungry after their adventures. Then after supper they were very tired. When bedtime came, do you suppose they begged Muff to tell them another story? Or tease Buster to let them stay up 5 minutes longer? Of course not. They just snuggled up close to their warm, furry mother, and they purred themselves to sleep. So that is the story of Smudge. And we are going to have one final book. And I saved this one for last in the memory of Bonnie, my wife, who loved this book. And she loved reading this to the kids because they all laughed. Because this cat, Chester, is a naughty, naughty cat. And they really, really like that. So one more, and then we're done. right, so it says Chester, then it says by Melody Watt, and then crossed out, it writes Chester. And then it says place my award here. So you got to get to see where Chester is doing. Dear readers, I apologize for Chester's behavior in my mouse story. Sorry for the inconvenience. Sincerely, Melanie Watt. And then in red, Chester writes, blah, blah, blah. So anytime you see red, that's Chester. Hi, I'm Melody Watt, and I'm trying to write and illustrate a story about a mouse, but Chester won't stop interfering. And in red, it says, thank goodness, now it's a great book about me. See what I mean? Chester keeps doodling on and rewriting my story with his annoying red marker. How am I supposed to deal with this cat, upstaging me at every turn? I need to think of a way to put an end to this before he completely takes over. And in red, Chester writes, good luck, Einstein! As you can tell, Chester, a.k.a. the rude and self-centered furball, always has to have the last word. And in red, not true! You see? See what? What did I tell you? Whatever. For Marcos, Eva, Melina, and Layla, and it's crossed out. It says, for Chester, because I couldn't have made this book without him. He's the smartest, most handsome cat in the world. I wish I could be like him someday. And that's in red. So, and it says Chester, and then he writes, not, written and illustrated by Melanie Watt. Once upon a time, there was a mouse. He lived in a house in the country. And in red, then Mouse packed his bags and went on a trip very, very far away, and we never saw him ever again. And then in the picture, the mouse is circled in red. It says, hasta la vista, Mousy. So Chester moved in and made a few changes to his new place. So notice it says my curtains, Chester's chair, Chester's home sweet home, and look, he draws himself on the pictures. Look what he did with that red marker, Chester's chair. But Mouse returned home. Oh yes, did I mention he brought back a really big souvenir with teeth? My curtains. Yeah, all that Chester stuff is still there. Back to the story. Once upon a time there was a mouse. He lived in Chester. Move out of the way. And in red, he lived in the country with his vegetarian dog who only ate carrots. Then Melody begged Chester to write a better story, and it goes something like this. Chester is naughty. Hello, Danielle. Once upon a time there was me, Chester. Chester stands for charming, handsome, envy of Mouse, smart, talented, envy of Melody. Really handsome. Chester lived in Chesterville, where mice weren't allowed. It was a beautiful day. Look what he did. Yeah, I'm not really a Flyers fan, but I am a Phillies and Eagles fan, as you can tell by the P here. It certainly will be Flyers fan. I actually grew up in Philly. You know, I used to like the Flyers when I was a kid. I am actually in north central Jersey, about an hour and a half away from Philly. But I grew up in Philly until it started to rain. And look at Chester. He is not happy. But the best thing about where I'm moving up, they have scrap wool up there, Flyers fan. I love Scrapple. Love it. Now, as I was saying, once upon a time, there was a mouse. He lived in a house in the country. And Chester writes down the bottom. And he lived happily ever after. Yes, Scrapple is a breakfast meat. The end. Hey, MK, do you remember when Dave Schultz did that song? Baby, how long can you keep me in the penalty box? Baby, how long? Oh, that was his big song. Chester, this is where I draw the line. Nope, I'm drawing the line. Do not cross this line. Keep out. Chester's side. Yes, I like it with ketchup as well, Flyers fan. Chester, that's enough. Hand over the marker this instant. And then right it says, Chester's busy. Zzz, zzz. Scrapple is a breakfast meat that is made with pork scraps and cornmeal. But it's delicious. You know, now, yes, Bobby Clark. But, you know, there are people who just absolutely can't stand Scrapple. Hi, I am Melanie Watt, and I am very angry. Hello, I am boring, and I am jealous of Chester. Yeah, Scrapple's an acquired taste. Chester, I am warning you, hand over the marker and apologize before I count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And Chester writes, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. La, 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 la. All right, Chester, you want your own story? You want to be the star of this book? Well, get ready. Here it is. Chester writes, finally! Once upon a time, there was a cat named Chester. He lived in the house in the country. Oh, the kids loved this book. And this is why I wanted to have this, the last book of the night. The kids absolutely would laugh hysterically at this. Chester was a very handsome cat, especially when he wore a pink, you want it. Tutu. Now, it's personal. And then look what Chester did to the very end, to the very book of the author. Forget what's her name. Wait, Melanie Watt lives in Montreal, Quebec. She is boring! You can tell who wrote that. The author and illustrator of a number of children's books, including Scaredy Squirrels series. Scaredy who? Chester's back. Chester's masterpiece. Have I got a book for you? Augustine, Leon the Chameleon, and Learning with Animals collection. This biography is putting me to sleep. Chester has been harassing Melanie to feature him in his very own picture book since 1999. Forget what's her name. Chester is the real author and illustrator of Chester, critically acclaimed by Chester himself. It's the best book in the universe. More praise for Chester. Triumphant debut, Mouse. Chester is a genius. His art reminds me of Michelangelo, but with more emotional depths. Melanie Watt. And then the very end of the book, mice rule. So, that is Chester. And we are done. And I do want to take a minute and thank everybody for joining me every Wednesday night Really appreciate it. It's been fun. Um, it's not goodbye though. Um, you'll see me online. You'll see me post stuff in chatters. Um, and also, my plan is, and I told Megan this, when they have those special events, I do plan to come here, and maybe when I come here, maybe we could do like a special story time, like Friday night or whatever I come. And, maybe we can do something like that. So, again, I really, really appreciate it. And, like I said, though, maybe I won't be here every Wednesday, but I'll still be online. I will still be on chatters. I will still be in chat. Thank you, Dark Cat. I appreciate that. And then the other thing is, if anybody follows Toilet Bowl Toss. Yes, that's right. And also, guys, you could follow Gallant's Facebook page. So, Sir Gallant the Braveheart. So, yep. So, you can also follow him. I haven't been as active on that as I used to be, but it's still his page. Those of you who are not familiar with Gallant, please go to that Facebook page of Sir Gallant the Braveheart, because he was probably one of the biggest success stories at Friends of Felines, FFRC, of what he went through, the horrible, cruel things that Gallant went through. And, he just, it took him months to heal, but absolutely heal he did. And he is a big, spoiled cat who snuggles in with me every night. He's lost his hearing, but, he's still the same old Gallant. He still thinks he's top cat. When I have the food out, he has to eat first. If he wants to snuggle with me and another cat's on me, he pushes me out. So, yes, his recovery, and Dark Cat, I have to give credit to that picture, that, oh God, what's her name? Oh, Nika. That picture, just spoke to me, that she took. And in that picture, you could see there's like a cat sticker on the window that's looking down at Gallant, and I always felt that was his savior. It was like his he was like his angel, and that was the day that I went into Bonnie and said, what would you think of maybe adopting another cat? And she had no problems with it, because she knew how attached I was from Gallant. I mean, I would log in every day just to see Gallant, with strutting around with the big blue donut on him, and he was and he continues to be a very special cat. So Gallant is just one of many, many success stories at Friends of Felines. And, please keep supporting here, so that we can, all of these cats, look at that Coralie right back here. What a miracle that Coralie is. And there's so many of them here, and because of you guys, we can save these cats. We could save them and make them live the life that they deserve. And as Jackie would always say, I am going to end this with every cat matters. Thanks, everybody. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you shortly. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody. Oh, I thought that was... Hello, Carly. Hello, Alma. Oh, it's a little kitty. It's a little kitty. Hi.